Hello, everybody, and welcome to No Bull with Alan Dietz here on Ultra Broadcasting. Glad to be here with you as we're at this post July 4th weekend part of the season. Really, the second half of the year, unofficially, I feel like begins here in July. You start getting into big races like the Oxford 250 coming up in August, at least for pavement racers. But lots of big dirt track races. It seems like going on all the time, but really starting to make that arc towards the end of the season. Florence, of course, Florence and Lakeview will be coming back in August here on Ultra Broadcasting. Speaking of Lakeview, the Blue Ridge Outlaw late models heated out, I guess you could say, on Friday and Saturday, July 3rd and 4th at Carolina Speedway on Friday night, Saturday night at Lakeview Motor Speedway. Extreme heat throughout the nation. The tracks, I think, had plenty of moisture to wet the racetracks, but it was a dangerous situation for the fans and drivers in a lot of areas this past weekend. So they decided not to race out of precaution. I know Lakeview is planning on having their Blue Ridge Outlaw race on August 15th, and that, as many of the races you'll see here on Ultra Broadcasting, will be streamed live for you. We mentioned Florence, of course. They got the big Cars Tour race coming up Labor Day weekend. That'll be on Flow. As far as Ultra goes this past weekend, not very busy with a lot of the races being canceled. We had action at Mission Valley Super Oval on Saturday night, as well as Carteret County Speedway. And speaking of Mission Valley Super Oval, one of the Northwest's biggest races of the year coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday, July 10th and 11th. You'll be able to see it here on Ultra Broadcasting, the Montana 200 for the Montana Super 5 Super Late models. They'll be going for $15,000 to win. And joining us now, our first guest this week, you'll actually be able to see her in the Montana 200. That is Danica Dart. And I guess the first thing, just to get it out of the way, I'm assuming that you just didn't get the first name Danica by accident.
No, actually, my dad wanted me to be named Danica because he had a big crush on her when he met her in Charlotte. And I don't know if my mom knew that whole story, but I'm thankful I was named Danica.
Have you got to meet her?
I have not got to meet her, unfortunately.
Good. Well, I got a feeling at some point you'll get that opportunity, and that should be pretty neat to meet your namesake. Um, so, what have you been up to this year? I know there's a lot going on up in the Northwest. It seemed like there was nothing going on 5 years ago, and now there's all sorts of stuff going on. So, what have you been up to?
Yeah, for sure. The whole Cars Tour Northwest coming up here has been a blessing for us, for sure. I've just been searching for sponsorship. I've been traveling around to these races, but I haven't been in a car. I'm going to be racing in the Montana 200 this weekend. That's an event that we would never miss. So we're hoping for some good results this weekend. I'm really confident at that track, and I have a really good team behind me. I'm racing BJ Tidrick's car, and he has a fast hot rod everywhere he goes. So I'm super excited and so grateful for this opportunity. But yeah, I haven't really been in the car a whole lot this year, but that's okay. And sometimes that's how seasons go. I mean, these past 2 years for me have been crazy. Last year I was on the TV show and racing a whole bunch everywhere. And the year before I was literally in everything you could imagine. I mean, legend cars, super late model, pro late model, winged carts, and then the ARCA deal. So this I think it's good to have a little bit of a slower year to kind of regroup and figure out where our program is heading for this next year. I'm going to be dabbling a little bit in the midgets this year as well on the west side. So I'm super excited for that opportunity as well. But yeah, definitely off to a really slow start to the season, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think resets are necessarily a bad thing, especially when you've had a lot going on and with the different kind of cars you've raced. You know, if you look at Brent Cruz and Connor Zilich and a lot of these guys and gals coming up through the ranks now. It's not like it used to be where, you started in a Legends car and you went to a late model and then you tried to do, ARC or trucks. It seems like now the expectation is for you to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely grew up the way that you were just saying, how you start off maybe in a quarter midget or something smaller, and then I moved from a quarter midget to bandos, and then bandos to junior late models because that was a thing for a while. And I know they still do it like in California and probably other places too, but it's not really a thing up here anymore. People kind of just go straight into the pro late models, the super late models, and I'm grateful I kind of got that uncomfortable stage of getting in a big car out of the way, with the junior late model program we had up here. Um, but yeah, I mean, now I'm in everything. I mean, I'm in legends. I love being able to be in the seat of everything, and I think it's so good to get used to those new cars and be able to be uncomfortable in a midget because, they're always sideways. And, it really, I think it makes you a better driver in the long run if you're dabbling in a little bit of everything. Um, so yeah, I'm grateful we've kind of shifted from that, building your way up to, you can be in anything. I mean, you could downgrade into a legend and race a late model at the same time. I mean, that's what they would think is it's a downgrade, but it's really not. I mean, you're getting
Yeah.
experience in anything you're driving.
Yeah, and I think of and it doesn't necessarily have to do with being a female or a male. I don't think the female aspect of it comes in nearly as much as it did when I was your age. But when you look at Jade Avedizian and Taylor Reimer and stuff like that, they're all doing the same things that you talked about. Specifically on the Montana 200. Not a Mission Valley's not an easy racetrack. I don't know if it was last year or the year before last, but I remember watching the Montana 200 and you were working your way up and had got into the top 10, I think, and one of the races I know you got caught up in some other stuff, which it seems like that there's a lot of that goes on. So take me through a lap around Mission Valley and why you think you're so comfortable on a track that might not be laid out very comfortably.
Yeah, so actually, I think a lot of people struggle there, especially in 3 and 4. And actually, 2 years ago, I ended up third
Yeah, I
there.
thought I rem
Last year I ended up sixth. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was good. I mean, I got into somebody and kind of messed up the race car, but that track is just so fun for me. It's really a driver's track, I think. You have to be really comfortable. It's basically like there's three corners to the track. You go into one, just hauling butt, and then you let off a little bit. You don't really brake too much, and you just gotta trust your car to go up. And I think I'm really good at explaining to my crew chief and my team that if I'm going too far up the track to turn back down coming out of two, it's too much. Like I don't know if a lot of people don't understand that, but
So
I
when
like
you
my
say
car.
one and two, I mean, take me through the numbers of the corners. Are you talking
Yeah,
about a traditional one and two, or are
yeah.
you talking about the top of the triangle?
No, a traditional 1 and 2. I mean, well, this track is just crazy. I mean, you
No,
go to the one,
this
you
the
go
same way Concord was. It was,
yeah,
and
yes, exactly.
I announced races at Concord, and I remember talking to different drivers about Concord, and they could be talking about turn three, and it could have been three different corners that they were talking about.
Yeah. No, I lay it out like a normal racetrack, but obviously one and two is completely different. And it's like you're turning down two different times. So, but I still say, one is the first point, two is when I need to turn in next, and then 3 and 4 is the standard corner at that
So then the
track.
dog leg is just the dog leg.
Yes, yep. But yeah, I like my car to not drift up a whole bunch, and I see a lot of people drifting it up out there. I like mine to stick and just roll. I mean, I don't know. I figure out that corner a lot better than a lot of people
Hmm.
there. And then through 3 and 4, I mean, that one is where I see a lot of people struggle the most. But honestly, I get around that corner really quick. I mean, it's just a standard like um pretty tight corner.
Hmm.
And it's not really complicated. But yeah, the dog leg's super wide, and I love to be able to go up there and hug that wall. It's kind of intimidating to go all the way up there, so my spotter kind of has to push me to move a little bit further because it's just a lot different than the front stretch,
So
but
you're
it's such
not cutting when you come out of two and go into the dog leg, you're
yeah.
going up towards the wall. You're not
Yep.
trying to cut the corner tight.
No. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
I
that was the difference between I think Mission Valley and Tri-Cities as opposed to Concord because Concord had a lot of banking in all of the turns, and nobody ever went to the outside in the dog leg on purpose at Concord because of the way that the banking was. But I could see where on a flatter racetrack, you're trying to kind of find that middle ground in that corner to keep the most speed up.
Yeah, for sure. That corner isn't super banked. So you kind of just go into one super tight to that line, you drift up, you point your car down, you hit that corner just perfect. You don't want to get too low, and you just drive straight off. You hit that line perfectly. That through two, you hit that line perfectly, and then you just head up straight towards the wall and then set yourself up for 3 and 4.
If you're not a subscriber to Ultra Broadcasting, make sure that you do it. You'll be able to see Friday and Saturday, along with all the pro and super late model racing at Mission Valley. Your dad texted me last week, and he said that you had a lot of folks that are wanting to watch. I think maybe in California and some different places that can't make it up there. Um, who are the folks that are helping you to get there this year?
Yeah, so are you asking about like who's all going to be with me or who's
Anybody.
Yeah, I have a lot of family everywhere and a lot of friends, and obviously, all my friends from Saturday Night Lights, the TV show that I was on, they're going to be wanting to watch. People from the Cars tour, they're not going to be able to make it, but they're going to be watching. My dad really is the one who is getting me to Montana this weekend, and BJ and Mark, the team owner. He is being so kind to let me race his race car and trust me in it. So I'm just all around super grateful for this opportunity. And it's kind of going to be, you know, everybody who has helped me get to this point is going to be there. And, just my main supporters, which is my family, my spotter, TJ, they have supported me since I was a little girl, and I've accomplished so much already. And I can't wait to keep bringing them with me on this journey. So, yeah.
So ideally, I want to ask you about what you feel like you'll do next year. I know, I think about Hayden Plybon and who's the guy? Jace Henson down in Colorado. You got Casey Klein. All of these guys that are try to venture. Trevor Christiani that are trying to come east when they can, which is a very rare thing just because of the distance. But if things go the way that you want them to for the rest of 26, what do you see in 27? What are the goals?
Well, hopefully we just land a big sponsor and we're able to do more traveling. Ever since I was little, I've said I've always wanted to move to North Carolina because that's where the most opportunity happens for racing. And, that would be a really big dream of mine, and I'm not stopping chasing that dream. So, yeah, just keep working hard for sponsorship. And I can't really say much of what's going to happen for next year yet because I honestly don't know either. But we just got to keep working. We got to try to get results, but it's hard to get results when you're not in a race car. So hopefully, just be in the race car more, really get things figured out this year. And yeah, I mean, that's all I know right now. And hopefully, we just have a good Montana 200 and get some more people on board with us.
So how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh God, you're in good shape. I know it's it you get kind of on that timeline where you're like, oh, I got to be here by the time I'm 20, and if I'm not in a O'Reilly car by the time I'm 26, listen, you got plenty of time. So I expect that you'll run well at the Montana 200, and you get out there and you get a win out there, that could be the springboard that you need. So
Yeah,
we wish you good luck.
for sure. Thank you. Yeah, my parents are definitely just like you were saying, no pressure. Like, don't put pressure on yourself. Like, there's not a timeline. Like, my dad's like, I wasn't even in a race car till I was like 22. Like, you have way more experience than I did already. And I, just as a race car driver and as someone who's pushed myself and, has had a lot of opportunity, I feel the pressure and I put the pressure on myself. But there's not really any external pressure being put on me, I guess.
Well, good luck. We'll be watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you love grassroots racing, Ultra Broadcasting is for you. From the UARA and the biggest short track races in the country to the best of the Carolinas, from Florence and Anderson to Southern National and Carteret County. Plus, Alabama's Mobile International Speedway and the Big Five Super Late models at Montana's Mission Valley Super Oval, and exclusive original programming. To catch it all, subscribe to ultrabroadcasting.com today.
You're not just any do-it-yourselfer. You use inspiration to bring projects to life. And just when a project seems too large, you head to your local Sunbelt Rentals. There, you'll find the latest in tools and equipment to make your next job your easiest project ever. Plus, they even deliver to your job site. Sunbelt Rentals, taking DIY projects to an all-new level.
I'm John.
And I'm Ben.
And we're the Kubota Tractor Guys. Kubota means quality and nationwide rates highest in customer satisfaction.
Discover Kubota's durability you can count on with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
Big Sky Kubota stocks a large selection of tractors and implements.
Stop in and see our wide selection of mowers, excavators, and RTVs.
Big Sky Kubota's service techs can help you get the most of your Kubota.
Big Sky Kubota. Remember, think orange.
Premier, American, patriotic, fraternal, charitable organization.
I bet you didn't know. The Elks are fueling the future of youth racing. Join us at the Elks, supporting young drivers and giving new life to our mission. On the track and in your community, we're building future leaders. We are shining a spotlight on the values that make the Elks great. By showcasing our commitment to future leaders, we're making it easier than ever to see how great it is to be an Elk.
Visit discoverelks.org today.
Well, joining us now from the UARA, it's Ricky Brooks. And Ricky, I thought about having a driver on to talk about the sportsman cars at Mobile this weekend and a couple of other things. And I started seeing a lot of stuff that you've put out here in the last couple of days. And I thought maybe we need to bring Ricky back on and talk about some of this stuff. So I guess the first thing I would ask you about, well, let's talk about Mobile this weekend. I know you got to be looking forward to going there with the sportsman cars and the Crown Vics.
Yeah, the sportsman cars, they like Mobile, and the Crown Vics do too. We're looking at another pretty good car count traveling out of the state of Florida with the sportsmans. We should be somewhere around 20, 22. So that's pretty strong this time of year with vacations and everything else. So I'm looking forward to going back to Mobile with those. And the Crown Vic should be strong there as well.
Yeah, they've got their own pretty strong Crown Vic regular division. So I'm assuming that you could end up having a lot between your cars and theirs.
Yeah, it should be a really big field of Crown Vics when we go there for sure.
So
Because of the two groups coming together.
right. So Battle at Berlin coming up. Obviously for the super late models, that's a big deal. But the week before this, Cletus McFarland's late model series, I think that's what he's calling it now, and he's going out of your rule book. And I know you guys are going to be up there helping to officiate it and stuff. Tell me a little bit. I know the connection from Freedom Factory, but just kind of how that came about and what maybe you think his vision is for his division.
You fast forwarded on me there a little bit. We got Highland Rim with the pros.
Oh, I know we got more.
And then we go to Mobile. Then we go to Golden Sands for the first time. Then we go to Freedom. I mean, then we go to Berlin for the Battle of Berlin.
See, I'm not going in order.
Okay. All right. So you want to start over?
No. We're going to leave it just like it is. Okay, before we talk about Cletus, though, I know Dylan Fetcho was out at Highland Rim practicing for the Pro Late Model race coming up out there. It's paying $5,000 to win, and it's the first of a few shows you guys are doing out at Highland Rim. I know you got to be excited about that, especially with the number of pros there over in that area.
Yeah, I mean, we're testing the waters there at Highland Rim. Gary, we've been wanting to do something together for a couple of years now, and the opportunity just presented itself. So we're testing the waters here in July with Highland Rim.
Okay, and let me ask you about Golden Sands, because see, that's the thing. There's so much that you guys are involved with right now. I can't keep up with all of it. But the National Super Late Models going to Golden Sands. And I know that when you hear National Super Late Model, some of the teams up in Wisconsin and up in that area may freak out because they're like, oh, we run 2-barrel carburetors, yada, yada, yada. But I know that you're doing things to adjust to that.
Yeah, we've adapted to, per se, their carburetor rules and spacer rules for that weekend. And Golden Sands is similar to Berlin. You can't run a 4-barrel there if you want to run real good without restrictors. So we adapted that stuff to where our guys can take a little weight off. Their guys really don't have to change much. And hopefully we have a pretty good, strong car count there because Shannon and her husband there, they do a good job, and they approached me at Slinger last year about doing this event, and she's really went to work and found some extra money and some other stuff for this event. So we're looking forward to that one.
Okay, so Berlin, we asked a question, so I won't go through that again, but just tell me a little bit about this vision that Cletus has got for his division and how the UARA may play into that.
I'm not real sure. I mean, there's not been a lot of talk amongst us about it. I mean, I know he's wanting to run some late model races with his Crown Vic stuff, and we were asked to hang around up there for a few days after the battle and give them a hand on the technical side. So that's how all this has come to play, and hopefully it'll be more involved down the road with him doing that kind of stuff because it'd be good for us too. But we've been asked to hang around and tech the event for him.
And that is a pro late model, correct?
Well, at Berlin, it's super and pro combined because it doesn't matter which car you bring, you're competitive there. So
between the Battle at Berlin, which is a UARA race, and the Cletus race, just between those two races, that's what, 60,000 that you could win?
Yes, 60 grand and within what, 4 days?
Wow.
5 days.
Do you have you got any feedback in the sense that you're going to have a good car count for that race anyway, but does it maybe even up that compared to what it would have been?
I think it's going to up it. I think the Cletus portion of the race at the end is going to up the Battle of Berlin race as well. I think hand in hand they're going to help each other.
Okay, so more news that came out this week. We got UARA National Super Late Models, UARA Pro Late Models, UARA Pure Stocks, UARA Crown Vics, and now UARA Pro Trucks. Tell me about the Pro Truck division.
The Pro Truck guys have been on us for probably 2 years now about doing something, and it's just time. It's fitting. With everything else that we got going on for 27, adding Pro Trucks, and we're talking about adding at least one more division for next year.
So for you, I'm assuming that this it means that you can bring a whole show, including support divisions, to any race that you want to. I mean, I know that you're not going to make Pro Trucks pull to Wisconsin and stuff like that, but where it makes sense, you could take multiple divisions.
Absolutely, we can bring we can bring the entire show basically.
What are the Pro Truck rules going to be like? Because I know here in the Carolinas, the trucks are kind of like a late model stock car. What are these Pro Truck rules like, and what are you doing as far as tires, new tire scuffs, or what?
It's going to be basically the Central Florida rules. We fine tuned them a little bit. Been working on them for about 2 months now, just making sure everything's buttoned up. So when we put them out, we don't have to change them. Um, it's probably that's not set in stone yet, but it's probably going to be 75 lap races like the Sportsman.
And scuff tires are new.
It'll be new tires.
Okay. Are these rules? I gotta assume that they're similar to the trucks that run at Mobile and Pensacola and out of Texas.
They're similar, but the trucks that run at Pensacola and Mobile are a little bit more advanced. They need to be reeled back in my opinion. But there's enough trucks in Central Florida, kind of like the Sportsmans, that we really don't have to pull anything out of the state of Florida.
And just announced Citrus County and Ricky Brooks. Tell the folks what's going on.
Well, it's like you said earlier. We can bring the entire show to a facility, and William and I have really got to know each other this year with the stuff that we've done together, and he wants more of it. So we're going together, and I'm basically going to become his general manager of Citrus County, and we're going to basically have the show and then add his local divisions in on it for at least 11 dates.
I feel like I've gotten to know you pretty well too over the last year, and I've never asked you this, but folks that know me and know my background know that I worked with Pass and with Tom Mayberry forever, and a lot of the same stuff I heard about him, I hear about you. Ricky's hard to get along with. Ricky doesn't work with anybody. Well, it sure sounds like there's a lot of Ricky working with people to make things happen in different places. And even Tom, I mean, you guys talk.
Yeah, I mean, thank you again for getting that relationship going. We talk quite frequently and about the super late model side and other things. I bounce stuff off of Tom all the time. It doesn't. It's like he told me one time. It doesn't matter if they're talking good or bad. At least they're talking about you, and you're renting free space in their head.
Yeah, well, I've told you before, you're renting free space in some folks' heads too, and I'd never thought reacting, and Tom is one who told me this. I don't think reacting is very productive. You got to be proactive, and you just can't really worry about what else is going on.
And when I realized that, with you telling me that, Tom telling me that, and with some other people telling me that, including my wife, I quit worried about what everybody else is doing. I stay off of social media. I don't blast people anymore, and I think that just got people looking around, going, what's going on. But I try to focus my time on doing what's right for racing and making money.
Well, one of the issues that I've had is I feel like sometimes the good people that really care about the sport, and listen, we're all trying to at least make some sort of profit out of this deal and not lose money. But I almost feel like sometimes that the people that really care get frustrated and get pushed out. And that's the way I feel. And I've told you that before, to tell you honestly. I see so many things um, that I'm like, you know what? Why am I worrying myself with this? But it seems like it's the love of the sport that that keeps you coming back. And it's not like a drug addict or something like that. It's not like that. It's a different thing. And I think that's why sometimes things maybe sting a little bit more, just like when you have success, they feel a little better.
Well, I mean, it's just what you said. It stings a little bit more because you care so much about the sport, and you don't want to see the what's bad in the sport. But this sport's got just as much bad as it has good, and I did not realize it until I got on this side of it. There's some vultures out there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully those vultures won't be, picking the bones of anything with UARA. I think with where you are and where you seem to be headed and everything like that, it seems like it's in a positive direction. And as always, Ultra Broadcasting is glad to be a part of that with you, and looking forward to all of this stuff starting with Mobile.
Yeah, Mobile's going to be good, I believe, as long as it's not too hot, but we know how the South is in that time of year.
Tax season giving you headaches? Meet SRQ Taxes, your tax pros in Sarasota ready to make taxes simple. Whether you're filing personal returns or business taxes, SRQ Taxes handles it with accuracy, speed, and care. Trusted by locals in Sarasota, these experts help save time and money. No stress, no guesswork. We can file taxes from anywhere and every state via a secure portal. Ready to take control of your taxes? Visit srqtaxes.com to book your appointment today. SRQ Taxes. Navigate your tax journey with confidence.
The best time of the year in Montana is here, and adventure won't wait. Now's the time to gear up and get out there. Whether it's the lake, the mountains, or off-the-grid back roads, Missoula Chevrolet has the lineup to take you there. Shop over 100 Chevy trucks, all with one low price, plain and simple, always. Their non-commissioned sales team is ready to help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, just the right truck for your next expedition. Stop by today at 3663 North Reserve Street in Missoula. Missoula Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Glad to have you back with us on this final segment of No Bull. Want to thank our guest today as we look forward to an exciting weekend here on Ultra Broadcasting. It'll all begin Friday night, July the 10th, preliminary action at Mission Valley Super Oval for the upcoming Montana 200. Then on Saturday, July the 11th, stay tuned in to Ultra Broadcasting for everything going on at Mission Valley Super Oval, including the Montana 200. And as we said, that'll pay $15,000 to win. And Mobile International Speedway, that'll be coming up on Saturday night as well. Again, as we always say, tune in live, but if there's overlap, you can go back and watch any of those races or any races that we've ever broadcast here on Ultra Broadcasting on demand. As always, remember, if you got any questions, comments, guests that you'd like to see on No Bull, you can find me on X at Real Alan Dietz or on Facebook, and we always look forward and appreciate your comments and for listening. Also, remember, you can, in addition to watching here on Ultra Broadcasting or on the Alan Dietz YouTube channel, you can also listen to our podcast. Just check out No Bull with Alan Dietz, where podcasts are available, and you can listen as you're on the way to any of these races coming up here in the next few weeks. So as we said at the beginning of the show, second half of the season really getting started in earnest. Everywhere is in full swing right now. Want to send a congratulations out, didn't mention it earlier, but to DJ Shaw. He took the Celebration of America 300 win at Oxford Plains Speedway last week, and congratulations to him and everybody there at Oxford Plains putting on another great show. And of course, they'll have the Oxford 250 coming up at the end of August. So for all of our guests and for all of us here at Ultra Broadcasting, I'm Alan Dietz saying so long, and we'll see you next time here on No Bull.